They all start with a manual focus, right? Forgive us all while we get our stuff kind of figured out a little bit here. Make sure you're in focus.
Another thing we're going to do with these resumes is I'm going to post them on our website for people to look at them.
Will you make it prettier? Okay.
Do you have a prettier one?
No. I mean, I can make it prettier.
You can make it
'Cause
prettier?
I was kind of editing from
Oh,
a
from your
long one. that
from
I
your
had.
booklet.
It's less about the actual resume and more that you are a person who is not above giving us a resume.
Am I the only one that gave you a resume?
So far,
So see, I win.
you went. Oh, it's not really.
It's totally
a
fair
score.
treatment, but I guess
It is a fair statement to say that you won in the resume category.
so
I'll
far.
take whatever I need to.
Are we all rolling?
Oh, roll.
Roll is pretty.
That lets us sync all the cameras.
Wow, that is so high tech.
We don't. Isn't it?
It's the future right here. Future of everything. All right, so
Clap on, clap off.
so you gave me your resume, and I see that your last name might be hard for me to pronounce. So let's play like a little game here. Here's my card. I want you to try to pronounce my last name, and then I'll try to pronounce your last name to see who could get it done first.
Lietus.
Yeah. Erbrick?
Yeah, there you go. So you win.
Oh,
Congratulations.
I thought it was going to go a little bit longer. It's Platus.
Latest?
Yep.
You know, I almost went with that, but I thought, no, you'd want some really cool pronunciation.
Oh no.
Because
I
that would
mean,
be kind of vibe and hip and young and stuff.
it would be, but my first name is Chris, which is like one of the most common names out there. And my father's name is Archimedes. And my brother, his name is Archimedes Flatus Jr., and I just get stuck with Chris. I think that's a little bit unfair.
It could be Christoph.
Christoph. But I still have the at the end of my birth certificate.
No, it could just be Christoph.
Christoph?
Yeah.
Well, then would I need a beret?
No.
No? Just like this?
Yeah.
I'm Christoph.
Christoph.
Well, be ready to be interviewed by Christoph.
Excellent.
Excellent. So, first question. Very
Yes.
important question. So, I'm just, just an interviewer, and of course, the hiring manager is everyone in Cape Coral. And first question here is hot dog. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No?
It's kind of like a mini sub with a hot dog.
Well, isn't a sub a sandwich?
Depends on where you're from. If if a sub is a sandwich. A sub is a sub. A sandwich is like between bread.
So, how do you create the distinction
bun-
between a sub and a sandwich?
A bun is different than bread,
But bread comes from buns.
or vice versa.
So what was your thinking process to get to this answer? Just bun.
Sandwich is sliced bread.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything else, well, besides hamburgers, I guess hamburger. Now you're confusing me.
Well, then there's also sub, a hero, and a grinder,
Yes.
and all of those come from a roll. They're not sliced.
So, see, I think there are various categories of subs. Let's go with that.
Well, why can't there be various categories of sandwiches?
Well, there can be, but do you really want to commingle your subs and your sandwiches and your gyros and your,
If I own a deli restaurant, maybe just have it all at once.
all he cares is, in all honesty, you get a sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you like spruce it up, and you put like a bun on it, or one of those nice crusty pretzel things, you just get to charge more. Because it's really cool and hip and vibe.
Or you sell it at Wendy's because they always put the pretzel buns on everything.
But then you gotta like expand your menu.
So outside of being mayor and classification of sandwiches, what's something you're most passionate about?
Our city and moving our city forward, that's consumed an awful lot of my time, obviously, for the past 6 years. But it's something I'm very passionate about and something I've spent an awful lot of time making sure I understand the issues, understanding what potential solutions we have, and working towards those solutions. So I'm actually very passionate about our city because there's not many times in the history of the world or the history of a city you get to actually be involved as it's actually being built. And with Cape Coral, we're only about halfway built. And in the scheme of cities, you think Philadelphia or Athens or London, we're like 4. When you look at the age of how old some cities are, we're just starting. We're still, kind of not quite in that baby step, but we're not quite, moving up to the teen years yet.
So you don't have any aspirations to carve your name in some style limestone in downtown Cape Coral, do you? Making your mark in history, just
No, not really.
All right. So, were you involved in any charities before you decided to run for mayor?
Charities as in like true charities? A few. I was involved heavily with the Southwest Florida Basset Rescue Club, which is a local organization that we rescue basset hounds that are either surrendered to shelters or surrendered to us, and we try to place them. Same with the Suncoast Basset organization up in, I think they're up in Orlando-ish, Winter Haven-ish area. You know, we've done some stuff with them. I define like charity because there's a lot of things that could be charitable.
Yeah, what you said like true charity. What do you mean by true charity?
Well, I mean, there are nonprofit organizations that I've been involved in that could be considered somewhat charitable depending on their, classification. If you're looking, like a Goodwill or
like Salvation Army or something like that.
Yeah.
It's different from say like volunteering at the Naval Scout Alliance.
Yes.
Well, okay, so you already went over true charities. Any nonprofits have you worked for, or?
I've been involved in a few nonprofits. I was the first vice president of a nonprofit up in Michigan. It was the Clinton River Watershed Council. We were a quasi-governmental entity that dealt with water quality issues, that sort of thing. Down here, I'm heavily into my Rotary Club. I do a lot of volunteer work with the city through our CERT, which is our Citizens Emergency Response Team. I'm a member of our police volunteer unit over in Cape Coral.
Yeah, that's good. How do you find time for all this?
That's what they say about busy people.
Yeah.
Give a busy person something to do. If you want something done, you give it to a busy person. There you go.
Do you have any anxiety about not doing anything? Like, does retirement scare you?
No.
No?
No.
So you could be good with retirement and not doing anything at all, just enjoying the beach.
Oh, I'll never not do nothing at all.
Oh, okay. But you're still going to be doing charitable work.
I can still it just gives you more time to be involved in, things that are done locally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm pretty involved in my Rotary Club. There are opportunities there that I could expand upon if I had the time. But retirement doesn't scare me because I will always find something to amuse myself with.
Fantastic.
To help just with the origin of the question, I don't want to step on you. The idea is, okay, people want to be mayor, but were they charitable before they wanted to get into politics, or are they getting into charity just because?
Mm-hmm.
That's the origin of the question, and knowing your background is great, but we got it. And I just want to tell you why we're asking, and Chris is being a polite conversation, isn't asking more about it. It's not about. I didn't want to. Who's family?
Yeah, you're kind of.
Okay. Sorry.
No, I have to edit this later. That's okay. Everything's fine. So, all the issues that, you've encountered as a councilwoman and even other places, particularly in Cape Coral, there's the Lee County Electric Company renegotiation, there's the Bimini Basin development, and of course the Seven Island development, the water reserves, the canals. So when you become mayor, which one of these will take top priority?
LCEC, I think, is going to get resolved very quickly. I think we've done some breakthroughs in the past couple of 3 weeks. So I think that one's actually going to probably move forward in the next 2 to 3 months. That may even be taken care of before we get to that November time frame. If it's not, I think it's going to be real close. Probably the next one to set looking at, as much as the Seven Islands is actually the one that excites me the most because it's green space. So you're starting with one owner and green space. And we've got utilities coming up that way, so we're covering all of that is going forward. So that's the one that probably should get a little bit more of the push. The other idea that kind of gets me a little excited is the idea of starting a concert series at Festival Park.
All right.
And that is something, that Festival Park area is something the city has been buying property for gosh, almost a decade and a half now, I think. And I think we now have a big enough portion that the city totally owns, that we can, start a small concert series and start to build on that and expand on that. So those are two things that I think really will help make Cape Coral a draw, and especially a draw in the northern part, which now you start thinking about that, you start to pull people down from Charlotte County who would take advantage of those amenities and the opportunity to see a concert.
So, since you're talking about that concert series, we've met a lot of great local musicians in this area. Would you be able to open up an opportunity for them to be part of the concert series?
Why not? We do that with our Coconut Festival. I mean, we do a lot of local acts, at various times throughout the, that 3-day event. We do some of that stuff with Bike Night now, where we bring in some local acts. There's usually a bigger act at some point, but we do use a lot of local acts down there, so why wouldn't we? We got some great bands in the area. We really do.
Yeah, we do. We've profiled a couple of them already. They're amazing. So, Cape Coral, when it was started as like a giant residential city.
A big bedroom community.
And that's it. And that's from my little limited experience about the history of Cape Coral. It's not quite working out that way. So, like 5 years from now, where do you see yourself and the city of Cape Coral?
In 5 years, I'm hoping we've got 7 islands, at least going vertical in some portions of it, if not parts of it completed. I'm hoping that we're seeing that we are building upon that concert series idea so that we've got a draw in the north part of the city. And I'm hoping that we start to address some of the issues we have with the rest of our land use development regulations and a lot of our code issues. Because a clean city, a well-run city, a tightly run city works best where everyone knows the rules, knows how to get to the rules, and knows that there's a helping hand if they don't understand them. And that's one of the big things we get in Cape Coral is, we got people from literally all over, not just the United States, but the world that call us home. And melding all of those ideas from where they came from to what, kind of happens here can be a learning experience for all of us.
Now for the hard news question, so I'm going to do my hard news pose.
Oh, wow, I'm intimidated almost.
Yeah. Is there anything from your past that you like to get out now before it becomes kind of an issue later on in the campaign?
Do you have something? Because I really like something good and juicy.
Can I make something up?
Is it going to be good?
Well, I have something, but it's kind of not really political. I can make up that you like the Emoji Movie.
Oh, jeez. I've been outed.
So we've not done any background stuff like that.
I know, we haven't, so...
We're not doing investigations to try and do anything gotcha.
Naming gotcha is
question because it's...
She likes the Emoji Movie. Thumbs down.
I left
Sorry.
it Chris is like, I'm going to imprint my system on you. You didn't like the Emoji Movie, did you? Because I'm going to thrash it. Is that all your questions?
Yeah, that's all my questions. By the way, don't watch the Emoji Movie. It's terrible.
I'm going to think that that's really probably not on my top, 4,000 list of movies to see.
What is on the top of your 4,000 movies list to see?
Nothing that's out there right now. I got to tell you, I kind of looked around and
Really?
yeah.
Oh, what kind of movies do you like the most?
I tend to go more towards those whole, Monty Python, dark comic things. That's...
Have you already seen Amazon Women on the Moon? It's kind of an older movie from the 80s.
I don't think so.
It's directed by John Landis. It's kind of a sketch movie.
See, now I'm going to have to go Netflix.
I'm going to write down the name of the movie for you.
No, Amazon Women on the Moon. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. So check that out. It's hit and miss because it's sketches, but it's on the whole, it's a pretty fun movie. Well, that's all the questions I have. Anything else you'd like to say, or any questions for me?
No, other than good luck with this. This would be fun to see kind of grow out. And that's where kind of all the trending's going, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
social
media, local news,
internet,
So
it's a news site. but
Someone
it's
experimental.
experimental.
Yeah.
So like finding out what people are really into. We can say that if we want. I mean,
Oh, yeah. By the way, here's my card so you can practice saying my last name. And if you have any scoop or anything you want to tell us about, yeah, just give me an email or a call and we'll do a story to the best of our
Excellent.
ability.